Beat 139. Featuring Doc, Don Vito, and Keith Cash. Harlem's number one show.
Yeah.
Yo, what up?
What's good?
Wednesday.
This is the time, man. Y'all know what it is. Welcome to the Beat 139 of Doc. We shake the block.
And what's up? Don Vito, voice for the peoples. Y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. I'm proud of the Beat 139, man. I don't really be, talking about a lot of things we got going on, but real talk, we just got a request to be in 2 other movies. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be in 2 more movies. We also just got picked up by 3 new radio stations, California, Denver, Colorado, and DC. Y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. We got 4 radio stations. We in Atlanta, we in Denver, Colorado, we in DC and California, man.
Yeah.
Yo, check it out. It's Wednesday, right? I just had to throw that out there, man. I'm proud of us, man. We work hard, for real.
Definite, man. We got the man, boy. Harlem is deep today, man. Harlem is deep.
Heavy tonight.
Former NBA player Chucky Brown is in the building.
Chucky Brown, what's up, bro?
What's going on, my man? Thanks for having me.
What's good? Of course we got to represent. Glad we got you on here, man. I wish you this person, man, because it's always you from the town. But before we get to it, we gonna ask you where you from for the people who don't know.
All right, I grew up in Esplanade Gardens, 147th Street, 7th Avenue, Building 1.
Harlem.
In the building.
Chucky Brown, that's what's up.
Chucky Brown, we represent Harlem today. Esplanade is in the building.
I just want to say one thing real quick, right, before we get into the story. You played for a lot of teams, right?
Right.
You played in the era when basketball was basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? Basketball was physical. The big man was a focus. You know what I'm saying? Like that real good quality basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All these big men shooting threes. You got handle, and he ain't never in the paint. You know what I'm saying? So like we gonna get a good conversation with this basketball. But without further ado, you tell everybody where you from in Harlem. How was life growing up, man, as a little kid? Did you always dream of basketball, or what else you had on your mind?
I mean, I played basketball. I played football for the Road Runners. I played a little baseball. I played all of it. My mother just tried to keep me busy, doing stuff. And I had a lot of friends that we would go to 145th Street Park, 145th and Lenox, and play in the park a lot. We'd go on top of the dime and play baseball a lot. But I never really dreamed about getting to the NBA. That wasn't not until later. Like when I was, I guess that didn't come till later, when I was in college, I thought about the NBA then. But as a kid, I didn't, I liked NBA players and I liked watching NBA basketball, but I didn't really see myself there. You know what I'm saying?
Were you tall at a young age?
No, not really that tall at a young age. I wasn't really that tall. I had a growth spurt late, so I hit my growth spurt probably after my 9th grade. I went to Cardinal Hayes my 9th grade year. Over that summer, I hit a growth spurt then. So I wasn't really tall at a young age.
So what was one of the first teams as a youngster that you played for?
I went to the Y. I went to the Y on 135th Street. So it's funny because I never played like any organized ball until I got to high school. Wow. So I went to the Y and I played that Y on 135th. I believe it's between Lenox and 7th. I used to go to that Y and play. And I played just a little rec ball. Never really, like I said, I never really played like any organized ball. I got cut my freshman year at Hayes. So, Coach Murray was there. He told me to come back out the next year. I should have made it. But then my father was retiring from the bus company, drove the bus company on 146th Street, Lenox. and then after that we moved. So I didn't come out the next year at Hayes when I was there, but I never really played organized ball.
Wow, so you're a late bloomer.
Late bloomer, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Not only just a late bloomer, right? Because I was thinking while you was talking. And you got dudes who've been in all the summer leagues in the world and never made it to the pros, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Rucker, each one teach one tournament, boys of yesteryears, PAL, you know what I'm saying? All the leagues, man. You Gauchos,
Right.
Riverside Church, you name it, right? And they made it to the pros. And you was a late bloomer in high school and you went to the pros. And you got a championship, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you got a championship. That's big, man.
Yeah, I was blessed. I was blessed.
Proud of you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So okay, so now you said high school, you play high school ball. How was high school your senior year?
My senior year of high school was good. You know, we had moved down to North Carolina, and right when I got here, my sophomore year, like I said, that summer of my freshman year, I hit a growth spurt. I got up to about 6'5", and then when I moved down here, my high school coach immediately took me right up to NC State, and like they started recruiting me like right away because of my size. I didn't think I was any good or anything like that, but I played hard, but I wasn't any good. And like by the time I got to my senior year, I had went to like the camps, like 5-star, Prep Star, the Nike camp. Back then, camps were big, so I got to get roughed up a little bit over the summer, and got better. So my senior year in high school was great. I became the first Mr. Basketball in North Carolina. So I had a really good senior year. I believe I was averaging like 27 and 12 or something like that, something crazy like that. But it all came from like just over the summer, playing against dudes that was better than you. And either you gonna quit or you gonna keep going and try to get better. So I chose to, try to keep going and get better, and I got better.
That's cool. So what's considered the Mr. Basketball in North Carolina? What you mean, Mr. Basketball?
Oh, that's like the best player in the state. So the best player in the state got that.
The audience know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right, yes, best player in the state.
That's big. The whole state, North Carolina.
The whole state. Yep.
The whole state. So when you found that you was Mr. Basketball, where was your mindset at that time? What was you thinking?
Just thinking about like going to college and playing in college then, because I had committed to NC State to go up to NC State and play. There were other colleges, Carolina, Duke, Maryland, DePaul. They were really big recruiting me. Syracuse was probably the place that I wanted to go. I was always a big Syracuse fan. I was a big Pearl Washington fan. So, I got letters and stuff and talked to Boeheim, but it wasn't really that commitment. NC State showed the commitment, so that's where I chose to go.
Okay, NC State.
Yep.
North Carolina got a lot of rivalries in North Carolina, man.
So NC State, who you was there with? What other players you played with?
Remember that.
Okay, so my freshman year, Nate McMillan was there, Chris Washburn, Ernie Myers, who Ernie is from Harlem too. So
Ernie from
Ernie and I had a real good connection because his uncle drove the bus with my father. So we knew a lot of the same people. Who else was there? Nate, Ernie, Vinny Del Negro was there.
Okay.
Charles Shackelford was there. Who else was there? That was our main guy. We had a squad.
Yeah, Charles Shackelford, he was 6'10".
Yeah. We had a nice squad. Yeah, we made it to the Elite Eight that year.
Yeah, I remember Chris Washburn, right?
Yeah.
He got drafted in '86.
Yep.
Go to the draft, and he came on in my park because I'm from 39th and Lenox.
Okay.
On 39th.
Yeah.
And he was dead. And right after he got drafted, like a few days after he got drafted and stuff, and we seen him smoking weed. He's like, huh? We think players and stuff smoking weed. And he got, we all know what happened with Chris Washburn. The drugs tore him up. and he was just out there chilling. Like I'm like, damn, we thought he'd be out there for like 10 minutes. He's out there all day. Like,
right.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's the type of dude he was. That type of dude Wash was. He wanted to hang on the block, you know what I'm saying? And he used to do that, you know, and it caught up with him, you know. But now, from what I understand, he's telling his story now and making a good piece of change from it. So that's good for him. More power to him. But I'm sure he wished that he would have took a different route than the route he took after getting drafted.
Yeah, because it was rough. So what year? I know what year you got drafted. Can you tell the audience the year you got drafted and the year you came out, rather?
Okay, the year I came out was 89-90. I got drafted in the draft with who was the first pick? Purvis Ellison was the first pick in our draft.
Never nervous.
Never nervous. So yeah, we went to a lot of high school things together. A lot of like we were at 5-star together a lot. But yeah, Purvis was the first pick in the draft that year. But it was 1989 was the draft when I came out.
That was a good draft too.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was a pretty good draft. Yep.
So where did you come out?
I got drafted 43rd to the Cavaliers. I thought it would be higher. Like you look at all these projections, and Sports Illustrated had me going like 15th. And I think I had a couple of like they do the camps different, but I had a couple, like when we went to Chicago to play, I didn't play well in Chicago, and maybe they went on that. And I knew I didn't play well. I played well in Orlando, and I probably shouldn't have went to Chicago because I had played well there, and that's when I was projected to go 15. Then I went to Chicago, and I did not. I had an awful, camp at Chicago, and then I got drafted 43rd.
So let me ask you something. Do you think them camps is necessary? Some people say that it can help them and it hurt them. Do you think it's necessary to have, or you think that it shouldn't be, you know?
I think that it's necessary to have, for guys that need to improve, their stock or whatever. Like say for the guys coming out of, okay, so I'll give you a perfect example, like Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway came from Texas, El Paso. Now, Tim Hardaway was tearing up all the camps. When we came out, he was tearing up all the camps, and that's what got him drafted high. So it's good for a guy like that who you don't see a lot. I don't think they went to the NCAA tournament, so, they camp helped him. But like for a guy that has a good body of work, if you're in a good body of work and you one of the top conferences like the ACC, Big Ten, or the SEC, you already got a good body of work. I mean, you could kind of hurt yourself going to those camps because if you go there and don't show well, then they'll probably count that against you. But like, I think they're necessary though for guys like a Tim Hardaway, who, like I said, he came from UTEP and nobody really saw him. But when he came and he played against the big names at these camps, he was killing them. So that kind of moved him up. And I believe he was like a top 15 pick that year too.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like it for some people can help and some people can help.
Yeah, it depends on like your body of work. I'm sure Tim had a good body of work at Texas El Paso, but then when you playing, those smaller mid-major schools, you're not playing against like the top guys on the draft board. So he came and played against the top guys on the draft board and sliced them up, and then there you have it. The rest is history.
So you coming up, you said you was a late bloomer.
Yep.
You had a lot of love for basketball, or it came to you because you tall? Because a lot of guys who grew up and was tall, anybody like 6'4", 6'5", who's tall, they shove a basketball down on. So you love the game, or it just came to you?
Yeah, I had a lot of love for the game, man. We used to go out, and in Esplanade, we had what we called the monkey bars. We had monkey bars out there. So we would go and play every day on the monkey bars. And anytime, we could get out there and it wasn't raining, we'd be out there playing. So I had a lot of love for basketball. We got into like big arguments. Like most of the guys or the dudes around Esplanade, they were big Dr. J fans because I think the Knicks were bad back then. So the Knicks, like as a New Yorker, you grew up a Knicks fan. I was a Knicks fan, to be honest, Ray Williams and Sugar and all them dudes. But I don't think the Knicks were good back then. So a lot of people liked the Sixers because the Sixers were good. So I was the only one in the neighborhood that was a Milwaukee Bucks fan. I used to love Marcus Johnson. So we would always have these arguments about Dr. J and Marcus Johnson. So I mean, I always had a lot of love for basketball, though. I still do, of course.
So I was going to ask you when you was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to go south or did you want to go somewhere else?
Nah, I wanted to stay. I cried when I had to leave New York, but my grandmother was sick at the time. So my father, he had put in about 27 years at the bus company so he could do his retirement. So he wanted to retire and then get back close to his mom because she wasn't doing good. So, I wanted to stay. New York was, growing up in New York, you don't care about nothing else but being in New York. So, you don't even know that there's other stuff out there, really. You know what I'm saying? Then, like when we moved to North Carolina, it was totally different because we kind of moved out there. They had no trains, transit system, no bus. I used to get on the bus for free because of my father. But if I didn't ride the bus, I had a train pass. I could hop on the train. Now I had to get a driver's license. I wasn't old enough or had somebody take me somewhere when I moved south. So it was a little different. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole lot different, really.
Word. I know how that feel. You need that. You need them. That car in the south, in the city.
Yeah.
Around.
Right.
You can just move around. So okay. So now the workout. So when you get drafted, how your family and what did you do on draft night?
On draft night, I remember just being with my mother, my father, my sister, and my cousin. We were just sitting and just watching the draft on television. We just sat and watched it on TV. And I just remember when I got the phone call, the Cavaliers had called and they said that if I was there, they had two picks. Their first pick was John Morton, who played at Seton Hall.
Oh my God.
Yeah, John. I think John might be from Jersey, from up top somewhere.
He's from Jersey.
Yeah, so John got drafted, and then after they had that pick, then they called me, and it was Gary Fitzsimmons who was their top scout. And said if I was there at 43, that they were going to take me. So when the 42nd pick came, the phone rang, and they said, we about to take you. Wayne Embry, who was the general manager at the time, said they were going to take me, and then I saw my name called, and it was a good feeling.
I know that's the best feeling because I love basketball, and I would love to get that feeling with one of my sons. That's like a great feeling.
Right.
How to look on your dad, and your mom, how they face when they called you?
I mean, they were just, it was just so happy and so proud because, it was a lot for us, not really having a lot. Like to get me to 5-star, to get me to prep stars to where I could be seen, and for me to be able to get a full scholarship, which was a relief to help my family. I mean, it I guess they saw like all of the money and stuff that they had put into it. I guess it came through for them, but they were very, happy and excited, just as excited as I was.
And you got to think about it too. You from Harlem, so there's a lot of things going in the streets of Harlem that you never got caught up in.
Right.
Seemed to avoid in some type of way, and you went to the draft, and you didn't just go to the draft. You got drafted, and you went to the NBA. So that's a proud feeling from a pop because I mean Harlem is not the slum, but Harlem is hood, man. You know what I'm saying? And you can go to the left or you can go to the right.
Yeah.
Depending on which way you go, sometimes you turn out to be that person.
Right.
And you made it happen, champ.
Yeah. That I mean, like you said, man, like people just don't know. Like it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because there's all kinds of temptations. And yeah, we did stuff out there, you know what I'm saying? But thank goodness, nothing ever like caused me any harm or anything like that. You look back and say like, wow, I'm glad I escaped that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because I can remember doing just like silly stuff, like when we was on the top of the dime. If we hit the baseball, it would go over this fence on top of the train station.
Yep.
And I just think about, we used to climb over this fence, jump on top of that, and it's like a little space where if you fall through it, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And we used to do that all the time, like not even think about it. I mean, it was nothing. And like I think back on like some of the stuff we used to do, and be like, oh man, that could have ended bad.
That's what I said. I be seeing the stuff. I'm like, damn, I was doing crazy shit as a kid, like the train.
Riding between the cars.
That shit now, you like,
or the bus. We getting on the back of the bus.
Back of the bus.
Back of the bus.
Yeah, all that stuff, man. But like that's what I was talking about. Growing up, in Harlem, you escaped that and you went to school and you got drafted. Like Doc said, I know your parents like, yeah. And then a nice little bag come with that. You ain't getting much. You was getting as they get now, but that bag, that bag was decent for them though.
I think there's like a 100,000, right?
Not 250.
It was second round was it was like 150. Yeah, so you get 150, but like the position I got drafted in, only half of it was guaranteed. So, but what they did was you got a lot of incentives. So you got like a minute incentive, you points. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the team after this date, you get a certain amount of incentive. So you could make a whole lot of money, but your base salary was 150.
So what you did with your first check? What's the first thing you purchased with your first NBA check?
The first thing I purchased with my NBA, you know what? I didn't purchase anything because I stayed in an apartment coming up. My first NBA check. But I didn't buy anything yet until after my first season. So
you said it was 150,000, right?
Right. So I didn't buy anything until at the end of the year, but I had a lot of incentives that I had achieved. It's a little extra money that I got. So I think I bought my father a truck.
Oh yeah, because the dollar value is different back then. But if you said they ain't give you all at one time.
No. It was like, well, okay. So I had the first 75. So I got on the team. Okay, so from October, I had to be on the team. October to January, I got 75. So after that, if I'm on the team after January 10th, then I get the rest of the contract. You know what I'm saying? That's how that went. And then like at the end of the year, you had I had a minutes incentive. I had a certain amount of games to play in incentive, and I had achieved those. So I probably got about an extra like 500,000 for doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you had to work, for that extra money back then. The contracts are a little different now. But yeah, you had to work. I don't think they do the incentives anymore. I'm not sure. I haven't seen one of the contracts, but I don't think they do the incentives anymore.
No, the only incentives is when like the veteran players, they get incentives as far as like making NBA first team.
Right, something like that. Yeah. So yeah.
Contract, they don't do it no more.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Man, the money they get now compared to what y'all got is ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We ain't gonna not talk about that, man. It's funny, but it ain't funny because check it out. Clyde, Walter Clyde Frazier. Every time they bring up his career when he's on the air, he'll say a little thing and all that. But a couple times he's like, man, I ain't really getting no money for all that stuff I did.
Right.
Like, checks wasn't really all that.
Right.
He got paid off for the things he did on the side, like the Coke 45.
Yep.
That's where he got his money from. He said, that money wasn't all that for him, man.
But you have to think like this. In 89, 150,000 is maybe equivalent to like 700,000 right now.
Right.
Not that much, man.
Yeah.
You way up there. What kind of ratio is that?
What you think, Chuck?
About 4?
Yeah, it may not be quite 700, but it would. Yeah, but because the salaries have gone up, and then inflation. Like, see, years ago things didn't cost as much. You know what I'm saying? I can remember going to the store getting a big pack of now laters like 10, 15 in a pack. It was a quarter. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like $2.50, $3 for that same 10 pack of now laters.
a pack of cigarettes was like $2 something back then. Now it's like $22.
Gas was $1. Gas.
Oh,
So you might be right about that.
Gas was
Right.
$1.
Gas was $1 back then. You know what I'm saying? Now you go to the pump now. I mean, down here, gas is about $4
But
for,
you know what?
regular.
Back in the days, when you people used to brag about making 6 figures, man. You know how much
Right.
you got 6 figures?
But
And 6 figures was
like
bigger
this,
at one time.
150,000, and then the tax wasn't as high either.
Yeah,
Right.
The tax wasn't that high like it is now.
Yeah, it wasn't that high back then. No, not back then. Yeah, they didn't hit us in the head till like they didn't start hitting us in the head until later. Like what they started doing was they started taxing us for every state that we played in. So like if we played, like you play 4 games in California, you get taxed every time you go there to play. You know what I'm saying? So that's when they started. You go to Philly, you get taxed for that. You go to Milwaukee, you get taxed for that. So they started doing that in the mid 90s. They started really hitting you in the head, getting up in your wallet then.
So what makes you a Bucks fan growing up in New York? Back then, they had a good team, like Sidney Moncrief and them guys.
Right.
What makes you a Bucks fan back then?
I just loved Marcus Johnson. For some reason, I loved the way Marcus Johnson played. I thought he was the real deal.
Yeah,
so I mean, like, and it always seemed like it was always such heartbreak. Like they couldn't get past the Celtics or they couldn't get past the Sixers. You know what I'm saying? But the Bucks, I don't know. I just took a liking, and well, maybe because I like to argue with my homeboys too. So they was always with Philly, so I kind of wanted to go against the grain. So I was like, well, I like the Bucks, and we used to argue, but I was always coming out on the short end because Philly always beat the Bucks when they played.
But Bucks had a squad.
They had a squad.
Biz, Marcus Johnson,
Brian Winters, Bob Lanier.
They had a crew.
But see, the Bucks remind me of Portland. They always had a stacked mob, but they can't win nothing.
That's right. That's right.
That's a good. Had a lot of bomb squad with Duckworth and all them, Terry Porter, you know, all they had Clyde Drexler.
Yep.
And they couldn't win because of Mike.
Yep.
Mike stopped all that.
So Chuck, you as an NBA fan, we hear this all the time. I know you quite get this question.
Okay.
Michael LeBron. Even though I don't put LeBron past Kobe, but we just going Kobe dead. I don't like talking on the dead, but Michael LeBron.
Right. Oh, I got to go with Mike. You know what I'm saying? I got to go with Mike, and just for this reason, like I just feel like when I'm watching it, and this take nothing from LeBron. LeBron's a great player, but like the level of disrespect that some of these guys give him, Mike never got that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, and you know, Mike would fight. You know what I'm saying? If he had to, he didn't. You know, he had Oakley there to make sure he didn't have to fight, but he would fight if he had to. You know, I just think that the level of disrespect that he gets amongst his peers, you know, just like the one kid I was watching, Desmond Bain, just straight up disrespecting him. Mike never got that. I mean, if they did it, you know, he went ahead and put that work on them, and then they learned from that. It never happened again. But it just seems like LeBron just gets a lot of, you know, disrespect from his peers. But I just think that Mike is just. I think Mike was just colder. He was just a cold dude.
But now he wasn't. But Mike
was a killer.
Yeah, but Mike wasn't just a beast. Mike was feared in the league, man.
Yeah,
he was feared in the league, man. Magic Johnson talked about Michael Jordan when they was at the Olympics. And he's like, yo, man, this when Mike had just came up. And he said, yo, man, he said, this dude in practice be playing like it's a real game, man.
Right.
Yo, man, this dude never plays. He plays like it's all or nothing, no matter what he does. He said that's when he told Mike one day in the locker room, he's like, yo, man, this your team. Magic thought he was that dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mike was just coming in. And because I watched this on ESPN when they had that little special. And he said he told Mike, yo, man, it's your team, man. Because Mike was giving all of them the business, you know. Mike is feared in the league, man. He's feared for his game, and he's feared like you Mike from Brooklyn. Mike got a little toughness with him, man. And he don't like to lose, so he take that shit real personal. Right.
Yeah, and I think that's where, like, I don't know if LeBron takes it as personal as Mike did. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would give it to Mike.
See, LeBron
Chuck,
got a soft side to him.
LeBron's soft.
See, Doc spoke about Kobe. Kobe's my favorite player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know I'm a diehard Kobe fan, right? But Mike is the best that ever did it. Well, here's my deal. If it's 10 seconds left on the clock, or even a minute, Kobe gonna take that. He gonna take that shot.
Right.
Mike gonna take that shot. LeBron to pass the ball, man. There's a lot of games when I seen where LeBron was wide open and he'll kick it to somebody to the side and if to take the last shot. Are you kidding me?
Right.
You would never see the greatest player in the league. They want to take that last shot because this is what they get paid the big bucks for.
That's what they get paid the big bucks for. That's right. And they want it on their shoulders. Like if you're the main guy, you should want that heat. If you make the shot, you're the hero. If you don't make it, then you're not the hero. You know what I'm saying? You should want that type of pressure. And Mike wanted it. You know, Kobe wanted it as well.
So let me ask you this: who was your first NBA game, and what team you played against, and how much you scored?
Okay, so I don't remember how much I scored, but it was against the Celtics. I believe my first real game was against the Celtics, I believe, and I remember. It was funny to me because funny you bring that up because I remember Larry Bird and I remember watching Larry Bird. I always hated the Boston Celtics, and I remember him talking trash to me. And I was just like, oh my God, this dude is bugging out. I didn't know he talked like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's the Celtics. I don't remember what I scored. I don't remember. If I scored, I might have scored maybe 2 or 4 points, if that. But yeah, I remember it was in the Boston Garden. I believe it was in the Boston Garden. My rookie year.
Damn, that's rough. The Boston Garden back then.
Yeah, how was your experience playing against Larry Bird, man?
Was crazy.
The Larry Bird was feared as well.
Yeah, Bird. I mean, I was guarding him one time, and I remember, like, you know, they had a big. Them dudes was huge. Like McHale 6'11", Paris was 7 feet, Bird like 6'10". So I'm guarding Bird. He comes off the screen, and you know he's a big, slow guy, but you know, very smart guy. So I remember him catching the ball, and he shot it. I contested the shot, and as we running down court, he made the shot. And as we running down court, and it's loud in the garden. I mean, he got right up in my ear and said, "Hey Brown, you got to get on me tighter than that." And I was just like, "Yeah, you're right." I didn't say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't gonna sit there and argue with a legend. You know, because I'd be looking crazy then. You know what I'm saying? So I just ran on down court. But I remember that. The next year, we played them again early. I think my first or second game the next year. And I remember dunking on him, but I didn't say nothing. But I remember dunking on him. But that was in my mind every time I played against Bird because he talked so much.
So, what was your most memorable game in the NBA?
Most memorable game in the NBA. Oh, man. I got a couple. My rookie year, my 30-point game against Orlando is one. I gotta say, when I was with the Rockets, we played the Mavericks, and I had like 18 and 14. And then another game, I remember we played when I was with the Rockets. Also, we had to play, and I had to start at center and guard Patrick. So I remember I had 18 and 14 that night, but like it was just like, oh my God, I got to see Patrick because Dream was out hurt. He had like a blood clot or something. So I remember Rudy asking me like, "Yo, can you play center?" And I was like, "Well, shit, the last time I played center was in high school, but shit, I play it. Let's go." You know what I'm saying? So then we went out there. And I had 18 and 14. So those are probably my 3 most memorable games, personal wise.
So you had Kenny Smith, Robert Horry.
Yep. Sam Cassell, Mario.
Yeah, that was the main team right there. That Rockets team
Mario from New York too.
Yeah, Mario from New York. Yeah.
Yeah, that was you had a nice team.
So
man.
let me ask, who was the player you was the closest to the NBA, like far as friendship wise?
Oh, Kenny. I mean, Kenny. Me and Kenny be texting like Kenny on the CBS joint now, texting me doing commercials. So me, Kenny, Sam Cassell, Rick Mahorn, Larry Nance. Who else I'm pretty close with? I mean, these are guys I talk to all the time that I'm calling out now. Kenny, Sam, Rick Mahorn, Larry Nance. I mean, Clyde Drexler.
Connecticut, right?
Huh?
Rick Mahorn from Connecticut, right?
No, Rick is from Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Oh,
I thought he's from Virginia. I thought he's from Virginia because he went to
Virginia
what did he go to
Union,
Hampton? No, he went
Hampton.
to Hampton. He went to Hampton.
With the
Yeah.
Hampton.
But yeah, Derek Coleman. I talked to DC. So I mean, those guys are
DC.
guys that I'm close with still. That I pick up the phone. Mateen Cleaves is another one. We talk all the time. So,
Motivation speaking now.
huh?
Mateen Cleave do the motivation speaking now.
Yeah, exactly. So I talked to Mateen a lot, man. Just talked to him because Michigan State was in Charlotte, so I didn't know if he was coming to the game or not. So I hit him, and he wasn't coming to the game. So he was just telling me that. So Steve Smith, I mean, all them guys, man.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of guys now still.
That was a lot of good players right there, man.
Who was one player that gave you fits?
That
What you like?
That I hated playing against.
Yes.
I had two main guys that I hated playing against. Like I was young, but when I had to play against Bernard King, I mean, I hated playing. Man, he was doing some one-legged off the running crazy. I couldn't do nothing with Bernard King. I think that was the only game. Like I only fouled out of 2 games in my career. That was one of them. And I remember Bernard had like 47. I caught 44 of those. So Bernard King, I ain't ashamed to say it. He gave me 44 of them. So I fouled out of that game. And Dennis Rodman was another one. I hated playing against him because he played so hard all the time. Like I had to guard Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, you name it. I had to guard Scottie Pippen, all them guys. But one thing about Rodman is he played every play. Those guys would take a break, take a play off and get their rest, and it allow you to rest too. But Rodman, I mean, you had to be in like superior conditioning to even come on the court with him because he never let you rest.
Yeah, because we got a guy, a big supporter of the show, Knowledge. He said, did Rodman put his leg on guys to box out?
Nah, I mean, I remember him boxing out. Like he did his work early. So like if you were trying to walk him down, like he would walk you down. So if you had to do the same routine he did. Like when he was trying to walk you down, he would like walk to the baseline and go out of bounds and slide back up underneath you and get a lot of rebounds. So he never did that. He was pretty strong, man. Rodman was pretty strong. He was only about 210 pounds, but he was strong. So I think that just his positioning and doing his work early is how he was able to get a lot of rebounds. And
he was very athletic. A lot of players back then was like big and strong and stocky.
Right.
He was athletic in all muscle, like lean type of dude.
Yes.
Grip. And he ran like a racehorse, man, like a stallion.
Strong legs.
He galloped down the court, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like he was different. A lot of players give Rodman respect all the time.
Oh yeah. He was tough. Dennis was tough.
Yeah, Karl Malone, man. He used to give Karl Malone a lot of hell, man.
Yeah, Karl Malone was good. Karl Malone was good, but Karl Malone, if you really look at it, he was really good like in the pick and roll, like pick and pop or pick and roll situation. He didn't really have a whole lot of post moves. He catch it, shoot a turnaround jumper, but he didn't really like back you down, shoot no jump hook or nothing like that. Right. So I didn't think he was as difficult to guard as like Charles Barkley was a little more difficult to guard because he had a little bit more of a arsenal in the post game.
Mm-hmm.
So in today's NBA, what player, if somebody say, how they say a poor man, when somebody get drafted, they say like a poor man, Chucky Brown,
right?
Larry Bird. What player in the NBA that your similarity to your game for the people that's watching right now? That who you can say, this guy's similar to my playing style.
Oh man, let me see. Oh man, God, that's a good one. I'm a big Pat Beverly fan. I think that I used to try to play defense first for me too, but I didn't have the antics like that. I just played the D. I didn't talk a lot. and just played hard. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Pat Beverly, maybe. I mean, like a Draymond Green, but I was a little more athletic than him.
Yeah, he's about Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond, but I had to play against bigger guys like that. But I think I was a little more athletic and I could shoot it a little better than Draymond could shoot it, I think. But I like how Draymond plays because he defends, but I was kind of like that without all the antics. I didn't I wasn't choking nobody, unless somebody like tried to do something to me, I'd defend myself. But Draymond would go out there and he'll start some stuff, but I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
He's a little extra. Draymond's a little extra, but he got a little extra. He loves the game a little too much. That's how I get it. He's not a bad guy. He just
not a bad guy.
He loves the game of basketball, but he loves it to the point where he can't do no wrong. And he takes the energy the wrong way. Instead of taking out the professional way, he takes it out where he want to fight. He'll get in the ref. He ain't just the players; he get in the ref face too.
Right. Yeah. See, I wouldn't do all that.
So it's not personal with no players, man. He just wild out on anybody when he get upset.
Right.
So I want to ask you this question for like 15 minutes. So take me to that championship team, the Houston Rockets, right?
Okay.
And just name the starting five and tell me how was that experience, when y'all was in the championship game and when y'all won, at the end of the game when y'all won and y'all was crowned champions, man. Because there's a lot of good players like Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. We named names, but they never got a ring, man.
Right.
So tell us tell me how you felt about that experience.
Okay, so our starting five, game 4 against Orlando, I believe was Kenny, Mario, Clyde, Robert, and Dream. I think that was our starting five right there. Now,
Otis Thorpe didn't start?
Who was that? Otis Thorpe. Well, Otis Thorpe was gone. Remember, they made the trade
for Clyde Drexler.
For Clyde, yeah. So they made that trade. That was when I was on my 10-day. They made that trade then. But yeah, Otis was gone. But yeah, that was our five. I mean, after so we played them the first game. They jumped on us. They was up 20. I mean, them young boys was doing it. And I think it was when Nick Anderson missed those free throws, we ended up winning game 1. Game 2, we jumped on them, had a 20-point lead. They came back. We ended up winning game 2. And back then it was a 2-3-2 format. So I remember when we got in the locker room game 3, and it was Mario was saying. Mario was like the grit, like the glue guy on the team, pretty much. A lot of people didn't know that. But Mario was like, yo, man, we got to go back to H-Town and we can't come back here. If we come back here, we're going to be in trouble because we had already got 2 on the road. So we got back at game 3. We won game 3. And then I remember specifically that's when it's good to be a part of older dudes because older dudes, they're going to take care of business. They ain't going to mess around. And I remember Dream and Clyde, that was my 6th or 7th year. That was my 6th year in the league. All of them were pretty older, much older. So, and they was just like, yo, man, we got to take care of business. Tonight is it. It's over. So, and we went out, man. And after we won it, man, it was just, it was crazy because I remember that night after we won it, I remember it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. I went out to get me a newspaper or something, and I was speeding. And this cop pulled me over, and old boy pulled me over, and then he saw who I was, and he let me go. But it was just it was a great feeling, man. I mean, like you said, like guys like Patrick, Patrick, who was deserving of a championship, never got one. Barkley, never got one. Karl Malone, never got one. They all got close, but never got one. And to have one, is great. But I'm gonna be honest though, I would rather have a Hall of Fame career than the championship though. To be honest with you.
On Gilbert Arenas' show, they always ask that question. Would you rather have a Hall of Fame career or be a role player and have a couple championships? Over the Robert Horry situation. Robert Horry with the James Harden.
What happened? I'll say that again now.
I said the conversation started on the Gilbert Arenas show.
Okay.
Would you rather be a guy that win championships as a role player,
Right.
or be, I guess a star player and never win a championship?
I mean, of course, I think the Hall of Fame career, because you'll always be remembered. Like, I
Right.
could go places and people not, know who the heck I am. You know what I'm saying? Which is good. That's good to a certain point. You know what I'm saying? But like, to have a Hall of Fame career, you going in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's the top of the thing. And I'm sure Charles Barkley would rather have a Hall of Fame career than championships. And I'm sure Karl Malone the same thing. Patrick the same thing. So I mean, that's where I'm at. That's how I feel about it.
So let me ask you this about back in the day. I don't know if you married situation or anything, but the groupies, how is that in the NBA? I hear a lot of wild stories
Right.
about that, like, traveling. Like, they say it's nothing like it. They said the NBA life, the traveling, is there for you. How's that is?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm sure it's worse now, but also what comes with that, it's a lot of like setups. You know what I'm saying? You get set up too. You get caught out there, behind the females. But yeah, it's out there. It's out there. And then, it's fun.
You think it's hard to have a relationship while you playing? Like, okay, if you had a son, let's say your son is going to the NBA. Your advice, like, far as with women, like, you'll tell him, like, yo, it's best to, like, settle down after your career over, or while you playing.
Yeah.
What would your advice would be? Of course, things happen, but what would the ideal situation?
I think I would advise them, just have some fun, because once you do that, you're done. Like, I probably didn't get married to probably my 11th year in the NBA, so I was about done. So I think that I would advise them to just go have some fun, man. You know what I'm saying? But be careful. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot. It's a lot more dangerous out there now than it was back then. You got a lot of people, with the scams, and the slightest thing you do is a sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot harder now. Yeah. Everybody trying to get paid. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out. It's rough out here. So everybody trying to get as they say, get the bag. They trying to get it.
Get that bag. The NBA player's always been a target.
Yes.
More so than football, and more so than baseball.
Rappers, because see, the
NBA players, man.
Like, they not like, the difference between the rappers and NBA players. Girls know their salary. A girl can Google you in a minute. Right. Oh, he got 120 million.
Right.
I mean, so and watch a couple interviews. I just watched Chucky Brown talk about his ideal type. Chucky Brown like girls like this. So now when she meets you, she coming like that, and you don't realize it, because the girl PJ Washington, baby, Brittany Renner, she had baby by Brittany Renner. She gave up all the games. She said, "Yo, she think that NBA players is stupid because she watch this. Like, she study you. Like, okay, Don Vito like this. He like girls. This, he don't like girls. So now I'm offering you. You want me to take you out? So all of it's a game, because they kind of watch the interview. Because see, now it's different from back in the days.
That's called lining you up.
Yeah, lining you up. You got the social media.
That's the new terminology. Lining you up.
Because you got social media. See, come on, because now they know a lot more about you than if you didn't have social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, a lot of people know more about me, him, and whoever, because they know, oh, he got such and such amount of kids. He just went to Jamaica. Also, they don't know nothing about you. So now they seeing these things, and they could come as innocent with their glasses on, and then they get you.
Yep.
Yeah, NBA players, they always been heavy targets, but I would do like you said. I tell my son, have your fun, man, but just be careful.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And because they're gonna be on you, because they know you are, man. Like you said, they see you on television.
They watch ESPN too. They watch it too.
You know what I'm saying? But so y'all got that ring. So what y'all did that night?
I think we just hung out, man, and I mean, we didn't leave. I don't think we left the arena for a couple hours. I mean, we were just, just
spraying
champagne all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't leave the arena for a couple of hours, man. My mother was in town then, so I think I might have left with her after the game. But yeah, we just kind of hung out. That was it. We didn't do nothing crazy wild. But Houston's a good city though. They really they really love their athletes in Houston. They take care of them. You know what I'm saying? They really take care of you.
Yeah, Houston is a very nice town, period.
Yeah.
Blank,
Yep.
So Houston got 2 rings, right? Yeah. Was you there for both championships?
No, I was there for the second one, not the first one.
Okay. Then they go back to back, right?
They went back to back.
Went back to back. Yep.
One with Patrick Ewing finger roll instead of dunk. The Knicks had that one.
And Charles Smith. They had that first year they won with Vernon Maxwell. Second year they won with Clyde Drexler at the 2 guard.
Right.
Guards.
Yeah. Crazy Max, Mad Max.
Yeah, well, Vern was there. He was with us early.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sent him home when we was in Utah. You know what I'm saying?
Got in trouble, right?
Yeah, well, him and Rudy had a little bit of a disagreement. Right. And then they sent him home. So yeah, but he was with us early now. He was with us early.
Yeah, in the prior year, he jumped and went up in the stands and punched one of the fans in the
That
face.
was the year. That was the same year. Yep.
Actually, he had a mean game. He was nice.
Yeah, Vern was tough.
Yeah, he was tough.
Hit the like button. When everybody hit that like button, the calling number 646-628-4264. 646-628.
Y'all want to talk to Chucky Brown? Call in.
Yeah, Chucky Brown 4264. So playing for the Lakers. Everybody said that's like I know you won a championship with Houston.
Right.
They saying when you play in LA, it's like I'm talked to plenty of NBA players, and they said it's really not like playing for the Lakers. They said it's like a whole nother thing.
Right. Yeah, well, playing in LA was cool because of how, like when I was there, Jerry West was the GM. So they treated everybody, everybody good. Like okay, like in LA, a big thing, like when you go places, you got to get on the list. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't on the list, you ain't getting in. If you played for the Lakers, everybody knew you. You know what I'm saying? You could go to any party, anything, walk right in. You know what I'm saying? So, the Lakers it's a Laker town. It's a Laker town. But yeah, playing for the Lakers, like they just treat you good. Like the first class, the organizations ran first class. I mean, that was probably like the most first class organization that I had played for was in LA because, it didn't matter who you were. And then like all of the dudes, like, Wilt and all them was coming around. Kareem was coming around. Magic was coming around. He had just announced about the HIV thing that year when I was out there playing, but he would still come around. A lot of the old Jamal Wilkes, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the Lakers that I used to watch, growing up, Elgin Baylor, all of them dudes used to come around. So you got to really, Michael Cooper, all them dudes. Like I talked to Coop too. I talked to Coop a lot too. So, all of those guys. Norm Nixon was Norm was around. So yeah, a lot of them guys, used to come around.
Who's my man?
So you playing for the Lakers. How was it your time there? Like as far as like who's the players on the team? I know, but I just got to say to the audience. Right. Who you playing with on that Laker roster that year?
Okay, that year we had Sedale Threet, we had Byron Scott, AC Green, Eldon Campbell, James Worthy, Jack Haley, Vlade Divac, Tony Smith, Keith Owens. Who else is on that team? Those are the guys that I remember right off the top.
Man, Bob McAdoo.
McAdoo wasn't there. I know Bob. McAdoo wasn't there.
I remember that year y'all had
Big Bob was nice.
That was like his best years.
Yeah, Sedale Threet was cold.
Those are his best years with the Lakers. As far as offensively, came from Seattle. And I remember that year, because I'm a Laker fan. I remember when y'all played Big Eldon Campbell, Tony Smith, they came in the 90 draft together. And shit.
Right.
Tony Smith was like a combo guard.
Yep. So yeah, we had a nice squad. That was the year too when they had the riots out there that year. So it was the Rodney King joint, because we happened to be in Portland we were in Portland, and it was the night before we played Portland when he got beat up by the cops. So, and then, well, no, it was in the playoffs. We were in the playoffs. That's right, we were in the playoffs. So we were playing Portland in the playoffs. Was that when he got beat? No, when he got beat, we were playing regular season. When they had the verdict, we were in the playoffs. That's how that happened. So it was kind of wild because we had to move. We had just won game 3. So it was 2-1. That's back when the series was best 3 out of 5. And we had to move game 4 to Vegas because of the riots. You know, we couldn't play it in LA because of all that had went down. So we had to play in Vegas that game 4.
So so what Chucky Brown doing now? Like your NBA career been nice. And I tell people, like, you play for a lot of teams, but it's a lot of experience.
Right.
Team, different cities. You get the, you can tell your kids I play in this organization. You get to see. I think guys like you will make like a good coach or someone, because when you move around, you get to see how different organizations they work.
Right. Yeah. Right now, I'm coaching at a Division II school here in Raleigh, North Carolina, St. Augustine's University. It's an HBCU. In the conference is the CIAA. So that's what I'm doing right now. This was my second year this year. And next year, this upcoming year will be my 3rd year. So that's what I got going on right now.
So what makes you get into coaching, and who your leader score, and what's your end goal? You want to coach college? You want to be assistant coach in the NBA? Like what's your route you trying to take?
I didn't really like do it for that. I just kind of like I live here, and the opportunity came about, and it's more so about just trying to share my knowledge with younger guys that's trying to get there, and try to let them know, like, look, you can get there from a D2, but your path is going to be harder. You got to be willing to put that work in. So that's more so it for me. Like if an opportunity comes about where somebody call me, say if Sam Cassell get a job, be like, yo, Chuck, you want to come coach? I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't get into it like with like the end game being, all right, I gotta get here. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't why I got in.
Okay. So Chuck, if people want to they want to get at you, they want to communicate with you, what's your social media links?
I mean, I do mostly I'm on Facebook, Chucky Brown 52. Twitter, I think it's 52 Chucky Brown 52. I mean, I got an Instagram joint, but I ain't really on it like that. And I think it's the same. All of it's the same, Chucky Brown 52. And I think what's the other one? The TikTok thing. So I just kind of be clowning around on the TikTok thing. So
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but it's all Chucky Brown 52. It's all the same thing.
We got you.
We definitely want to get you in studio, so we don't want to say too much now. Like, all right, from Harlem, so you're gonna gotta pull back up to the city.
When you come in town, you just hit us up, man.
Like when we
pull up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to come up there in August. Okay. My god brother live up there in Dunbar. He want me to come up there and visit him, so I got to get up there. So I think it'll be August when I get up there.
Yeah, could that be better? Because I don't want to say too much now, because it's a lot. We could go all night. But then we also got another guest, B Stinger.
And then we got a forum tonight too as well.
But we want to say, because since you're from New York, we know you're gonna come back to the city. So we definitely want to wait till you come in person.
All right.
Hey Chuck, so before you go, man, can you tell us what the #1 podcast in Harlem is?
What's this? The Beat 139.
There it is, bro. Thank you very much. The
Beat 139, the #1 podcast in Harlem. You need to tune in. Stop playing.
Appreciate you for coming, man. We appreciate you.
We'll be pulling up in August, y'all, in person.
139, Harlem's #1 podcast, featuring Doc, Don Vito, and Keith Cash.
139.